Back with a breaking news update. The Supreme Court hears the sedition law validity and throws a big hint on section 124A. The government re-examining the sedition is what we're learning. This is, of course, now arguments being presented on part of the AG, who says consultation with stakeholders is at an advanced stage and the issue may be discussed in the monsoon session of the parliament as well. So this is the latest coming in with regards to the Supreme Court hearing on the sedition law currently taking place. Harish is joining us with more details. Harish, very interesting what we're learning as far as this case is concerned. We've seen this case on and off be taken up by the top court the last so many months, but now the AG says that the issue may be discussed in the monsoon session of the parliament as well, with a big hint now being thrown in on part of the centre. Harish.
Yes, Christine, very big development as far as the raging row over revocation of sedition law is concerned. Supreme Court was hearing PIL seeking scrapping of the sedition law. The Attorney General has submitted before the Supreme Court that re-examination of a sedition law has been initiated and consultation with stakeholders are at an advanced stage and issue may be discussed in the monsoon session of Parliament. This is what the AG said. The re-examination process has been set in motion. Before it goes to the Parliament, it will be shown to me. Hearing can be deferred a bit. The issue may be placed before the Parliament during the monsoon session. Remember, the Supreme Court had on May 11th last year been informed by the Centre that it itself will re-examine the law and had urged the Supreme Court to defer adjudicating on the validity and awaiting Centre's review. The then Chief Justice N.V. Ramana had stayed all proceedings in pending sedition cases and directed the Centre and states to not register any fresh FIR invoking sedition charges until the government re-examined the colonial era penal law. Supreme Court bench said those already booked under section 124A IPC and in jail could approach competent courts for appropriate relief and bail, and Centre even filed an affidavit saying it will re-examine and reconsider the rationality of sedition law and requested the court to defer the adjudicating its validity. And also the affidavit had very significantly also said Prime Minister Modi is of the firm view that baggage of colonial era laws which outlived their utility must be scrapped at a time when the country is marking its 75th year of independence, that is Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. So now Attorney General has sought some more time for the re-examination process and has said that the consultation with stakeholders is at an advanced stage and most probably this issue will be discussed in the monsoon session of Parliament. Back to you.
Well, the AG says that the consultations with all stakeholders is at an advanced stage, but the Supreme Court seems like is interested in pushing it for the month of July. The AG, though, like you said, Harish, has been speaking of the pursuance of the earlier order government had initiated and the process of re-examining the provisions of 124A of the IPC, but also speaking of, or rather requesting, that the proceedings now be pushed to the second week of August is what we're learning.
The Attorney General said that as per the submission of the Centre of the last date of hearing, the Centre has in right earnest begun the re-examination procedure and it has already ended. It is at an advanced stage. Okay. Discussions are on with the stakeholders and the matter is likely to be placed for discussion, wider discussion in both Houses of Parliament in the monsoon session of Parliament. So very, very big statement made by the Attorney General of India as far as
big statement from the Attorney General of India. Stay on with us. We have Senior Advocate Sanjay Hegde also joining us on the phone line. Mr. Hegde, how do you view this? The AG says the re-examination process has been set in motion and before it goes to the Parliament, it will be shown to me as well. So the hearing can be deferred a bit, but a big hint coming in on part of the Centre, sir.
Well, they have been holding the position for quite some time. Even at the time of Chief Justice Ramana, who had stayed the section and said that no further prosecutions would take place under it. Even at that point of time, it was informed to the court that the Centre was considering re-looking at it. They have been re-looking at it for quite some time. In India, right now, if you want to legislate, you can always legislate through the ordinance route. But when you don't want to legislate, you can say that you are looking at it. The same question has arisen with regard to women's reservation, where Parliament has been looking at it for nearly 3 decades now. With regard to marriage equality, which is going before the Constitution bench, there also it is the same plea that it is for Parliament to consider, and Parliament will no doubt consider in God's good time. It's of course
so after
open to the
last
court.
year, the May 11 path-breaking order, you don't really see this as a big breakthrough. You're saying things stand where they were.
Well, even at that point of time, the center had told the court that it was re-looking at it. Despite that, the court had stayed it. Now, should the court go on ahead with hearing it and ruling on the constitutionality of the law, or whether it should wait for the center to give it time to fulfill its promises is a call for the court to take. But considering the fact that the vacation of the court itself is likely to take place in a couple of weeks, and that a full hearing may not be possible, it might be more sensible for the court to await the monsoon session of Parliament, but not much further.
Makes sense. Fair enough. Thank you, Mr. Hegde, for speaking to us. Very interesting that the AG says that the consultations with the stakeholders, though, are at an advanced stage. With that, we head into a very quick break. My colleague Siddharth takes you through the big stories on the other side. We'll be right back.